the nature of their work and all of that. But then they've been receiving accolades, for recent major breakthroughs in the fight against insecurity. And that's going to be our topic of conversation today, because they have been able to arrest and take into custody alive leaders of terrorist groups in the country. We'll talk about that today because it definitely is an up and up. Our guest is Mr. Dennis Amakre, MON, member of the Order of the Niger. He's a security consultant, former assistant director, Department of State Security. He joins us from the U.S. Such is the magic of technology. Good morning to you, Dennis.
Good morning, Yori. Good morning, Yori. Yes, it's the magic of technology.
Indeed. So, as I said, well, the DSS has been getting these accolades in recent times. People are thinking that it probably is, a tweaking, an adjustment of their modus operandi, their security, procedures. But I'll tell you what, Dennis, we'll come back and we'll talk about this. But in the meantime, let's look at this package of ours.
The Ansaru group, with long-standing links to Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, has been responsible for several high-profile terror operations in Nigeria. Among them, the attack on the Kuje Correctional Facility, which freed hundreds of inmates. Abubakar Abba, alias Malam Mahmuda, was not only the supreme leader of the Mahmuda terror group, but also a foreign-trained militant having undergone extremist training in Libya. His arrest alongside Abu Bara is seen as a crippling blow to Ansaru's central command.
The group was first formed in January 2012 with a public declaration in Kano. It emerged as a splinter faction from Boko Haram, positioning itself as a humane alternative. However, its stated aim quickly turned into attacking Nigerian security agencies and operatives, civilian communities, and government infrastructure. The group public signaling its ideological and operational alignment with global jihadist movements. Over the years, Ansaru entrenched itself in both urban sleeper cells and forest enclaves across several cities in northern Nigeria and in forest-based enclaves, particularly around Kainji.
Despite this success, authorities caution that the fight against terrorism is far from over. However, the fall of Ansaru's leadership represents a critical step forward in dismantling extremist networks in the country.
What we have witnessed today is another indication of the commitment of not just the president, but all those who are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that lives and property are protected in this country under the able leadership of the National Security Advisor and all the service chiefs.
Mahmuda terrorist group has been responsible for terrorizing parts of north-central Nigeria, particularly Borgu in Niger State and areas of Kwara State. The Ansaru group with...
Okay, so there we have it. Dennis, as I was saying, kudos to the DSS and, for that matter, the overall, security thrust of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. They are cautioning, the DSS is cautioning, though, that, well, this does not mean that we've been able to take out terrorism. So it's like we have to be cautious in our, celebration. But there's still a lot of work to be done, even as this stage needs to be commended, right?
Yes. Yeah, kudos to them, actually. When during this war against terrorism, we've had a lot of killings on the side of Nigeria, and then, of course, Nigerian armed forces and security agencies have been killed, and they also have killed a lot. But you find out that mostly in the press, you see more of how many military people have been killed and stuff like that. And of course, this particular operation is one that we have to commend our security agencies, especially the intelligence agency, DSS, where they have really gone down to carry out and successfully, of course, arrested this guy. Now, like the DSS have just said, there's a lot of work to do. In fact, they must be very, very busy because when they went to arrest these two people, there were a lot of materials, electronic devices, all kinds of information that were in the custody of these people that they have retrieved. So that is fantastic. It is a continuation of the intelligence work where they have to go through all of them, and then of course even come to know the linkages, their own Ansaru's agents that are even in other places, even in government. So I think a lot of work is being carried out about what is going on now.
And why the authorities seem excited by this apprehension is that they say these were very highly trained, externally highly trained security terrorist operatives. You know, people might not know about that era because we tend to see, you know, terrorists as ne'er-do-wells. But for the professionals dealing with them, they know that these people can actually be as highly trained as any professional that you might think of in a normal society. And so it's really kudos that in spite of all of that, our guys were able to get on top of the situation.
Oh, yes. In fact, I think even the United States is very, very much impressed because they've seen that, you know, without any foreign help, our security agencies and intelligence agencies could, you know, on their own, go out there and then, of course, execute this particular situation. You see, these particular people have also been a problem for the United States in particular because they are vestiges of Al Qaeda that have been back in the Sahel, disturbing the area. Remember the Osama bin Laden, who was the leader of Al Qaeda? He was taken out. Then Al Zawahiri, who is his second in command, was taken out. And then, of course, this Mahmouda and Abu Bara are like the remaining lieutenants, the top guys. So their taking out is also going to affect the control system of command system of Al Qaeda itself, and of course Ansaru, which came in with a lot of training, just like you said, because they were trained in Libya. And these are Al Qaeda people. You know, it was when Ansaru came into the play that we actually started referring to Boko Haram as a terrorist group, because before they were insurgents, if you remember very well what we were referring to them.
That's right.
Yes, but these are the guys that changed the note, and I'm so happy that finally they've got them.
Why? Well, it's good to have. We'll take wherever we can get it from. But the U.S. commendation, you know, the U.S. actually commending the Nigerian government, that's quite interesting, but a bit surprising considering all that's going on with the U.S. right now around the world. You know, the U.S. seems to be in something of a well, let me just put it delicately for the sake of those who are working in the diplomatic aspect. Let me not spoil anything. The U.S. has been quite boisterous in its foreign policy, expelling people for visa overstay and generally being quite hawkish. But finding the time to commend the Nigerian government, well, do you think that has any diplomatic impact? Because I was surprised to see it.
Oh, yes, it does. You see, usually, of course, the United States is pursuing their interest. according to their president, he said America first. What does that mean? It means that they have to take care of their interest. And then, of course, you find out that right now in the United States, they are pursuing illegals, people who came into the country illegally, who are living in the country illegally. And then, of course, no country allows that. If you remember very well, Yori, we have been even talking about all these bandits who came into Nigeria illegally, and we have been wanting to get them out. But there has not been any concerted effort in dealing with them by sending them out of in those of governed spaces where they are hiding. So of course the United States is doing their own, but diplomatically, yes, when it comes to security, all the countries cooperate. They can play their politics, but when it comes to security, of course. And this is one particular obstacle that they have been worried about themselves. So for us to remove that obstacle, I think, yes, the congratulation is in order.
It's worthy of mention. As you could see, the National Security Advisor was quite elated in the success achieved so far. Now, I know that security agencies, intelligence agencies such as the DSS in Nigeria, they're not given to, really speaking too much. In fact, part of the problem is that, as far as we are concerned in the press, they don't say enough. There's stuff that we want to know, but they are not about to share everything with us. So there's that aspect to it. But with that background, how would this further our fight against these guys? We want to see them out altogether. And this what has happened now that Nuhu Rubad was just telling us, it certainly is a commendable one, but how will it go from here? In what way is this valuable very valuable to the security repellent objective of the country?
Okay, you see the security agency, especially the DSS, or some people even refer to it as secret service, secret police, are not want to come out and start telling you a lot of things because their operations are covered, and then they will operate, and of course, the results, is what is necessary. They'll come up with the results when the problem is going on. These are problems that have, been in the problem space of Nigeria for a very long time. And I know with the new leadership, I think he promised, the DG there has promised that he is going to quietly do what he has to do. And I'm so happy that he's doing that. And so we don't have to worry about them. They are online. They are on the right path of doing what they want to do, and they will do it. So don't worry about them coming to tell you this is what we're going to do. This is where we are.
Oh, okay. They never do that. They never will tell you what they're going to be doing.
They will not do that. Yes. They will not do that, but you will see the results.
Indeed. And I wonder, maybe we can fathom a guess that, there used to be an issue over the level of cooperation within, because the security, architecture in Nigeria, maybe in most countries, it's not just a one unit affair. So we used to complain about a lack of synchronization between all of these units. It does appear that for us to be getting the results that we are having now, maybe, the security sector in Nigeria, the DSS, maybe they went back to the drawing boards and looked at the whole approach and must have given it an overhaul. Now, we won't know how long back they were doing this work before we are celebrating the results now. It could have been a month, it could have been 3 months, it could have been 6 months. Well, we don't know. But clearly, there would have been some rapprochement, is what I'm guessing. From a professional point of view, What do you think of that, if you want, civilian notion?
Yes, you know, we have always complained about it. We have always complained about it. And it was during this particular administration that we have seen that change. You know, before they were all working in silos.
Okay.
You know, the army was doing its own, the police was doing its own, DSS was doing their own. And you see, the problem then was that all of them were trying to curry favor from the president. Okay, you know, trying to impress him. I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that did it. The concerted effort was not there. But with this particular administration, you know, and I like one thing about what they are doing is because the president have called them, he's spoken to them. And then, of course, on the leadership of the National Security Advisor, you know, they've come with these integrated, you know, synergy in working towards or solving problems concerning security. You know, everybody comes in and then, of course, chip in. And that's why we were talking about the Fusion Center. If you remember, we were talking about Fusion Center in Abuja, where all the services are represented. And then the sharing of intelligence is very, very common. And then, of course, especially from that place to the field, where they also share intelligence about the ground. I'm happy that at least together, you know, we win. If we are working alone, it becomes a very, very difficult problem. So I think kudos to the security agencies for what they're doing.
These big names in, you know, terrorism and terror in Nigeria, maybe in the sub-region, Mahmouda and Abubara, yeah, you know, they're big, they're sizable names, but they're by no means the entirety of the scope. So where do we go from here? It's like they still push on while they have what they have, and can it be in the briefing those that are in their custody now, which, as you said before, they were able to find a lot of valuable stuff with, that the wherewithal will come for further exploits? Or how does it work?
Well, you know, with what they have gathered, you know, because that's one thing that is always when police or even the DSS goes to arrest people, when they go in there and besides arresting the person, they have to collect other materials which will help. All security agencies do that. And now that they've got a lot of information, they can actually go through them, you know, with a pin and then find out exactly what is going on. It's going to tell them about the structure. It's going to tell them about the agents that they are using. It's going to tell them about the source of funds that they have been using to maintain themselves. It's going to tell them a whole bunch of things. And, you know, in the next 2-3 months, you start hearing things because that will now serve as a foundation for further operations, you know, and that is how they will do it. So they will go ahead, and then, of course, it's a very good win, and they are going to really use that.
Now, we don't, you know, I alluded to how far back the work that is being spoken about now had begun. One of the issues, I won't say challenges, is that secret service agencies don't usually go out there and brief the public, as it were. I guess the question I'm looking for, I'm trying to find an answer to is, how long ago has this been in operation? Because sometimes you hear that the FBI has been on a case for the past 24 months, for the past 18 months. Of course, it becomes a big deal once they move into the final. It's like they don't want to move before they are sure and have covered all of their bases. Is it a similar kind of setup in our own local security affairs too?
I think right now, I think that is the setup, and I think they have to gather information properly even before making arrests.
Yes.
Because if you just pick him up on the road, there are a lot of things you're going to lose, And then for how far this has been going on, it has been going on for a while. Remember, we've been fighting Boko Haram for over 16 years. 16 years, So, and we remember Shekarau. After Shekarau, we got the second Shekarau. After that one, of course, they have affiliation with Al-Qaeda. And then, of course, Ansaru came into play. And then we have ISWAP. And these are all terrorist groups that have been operating in Nigeria. And Ansaru seemed to be one of the strongest ones that have been operating. And then, of course, they've been pursuing them, diligently trying to get to their roots. And now they've dismantled that. Yes, if you remember very well, Bello Toji is the leader of the bandits, around in Zamfara state. The smoke was too much for him. He had to come out and surrender. But like I said, don't just take his surrender, arrest him and prosecute him. And that's what I want to say about this one too. We've arrested them. Let us not just go and lock them up and then forget it. These arrested people should be properly interrogated, prosecuted, and jailed. Publicly, let us know that this is what is happening to them. It's a form of deterrence that is going to, stop other ones, because there are many of them.
Indeed.
There are many of them in Nigeria, and let them know that the government means business in dealing with this, especially the kidnappers and bandits and all kinds of people.
Okay, let me just say here, just take a break to say here that the Federal Housing Authority inaugurates an Express View estate in Lugbe. Will be joining that service when it is, ready and up. But for now, our guest still is Dennis Amakre, MON Security consultant, and former Assistant Director, Department of State Security. We're talking, of course, about the joyous news that we seem to be getting something of a handle over, our security issues. But we are cautioned to be, careful in our optimism, because a lot of work still needs to be done. Okay. Good morning, Kesandu. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling. Good morning.
And good morning to your guests, sir.
Okay.
I want to say that I am very pleased with his analysis and analogy. It is straightforward. God bless you, sir. Sir, but I also want to state, you see, one of the issues we have is, the primary issue we have in this whole terror problem we have in the country is not knowing those behind it vis-a-vis funding, sir. We've had so many assertions in the past about some people alleging, some people in the presidency and the whole lot. And till today, no man has been pointed to be responsible behind this. So this is a very big issue, because, sir, when we catch some of them in the field and probably kill them or something, the source has not been treated properly. So I think this is what DSS should be very particular about it. No matter whose source is good, because this issue of insecurity has affected everybody, no matter your status, unless those who are enjoying from it. That is the truth. And another thing we should also look into, this reintegration of some of these people into our military and all those things, as alleged, I don't know if it's true or not. But if such thing is happening, it has to stop. It has not helped us, because we have seen so many confessions from some of our military people, how these other people that they intimidated in the military have been treating them in the war front. So I feel the issue of getting those behind this should be cut, because once it's dealt with, their funding will be cut off. So across the nation, this thing has to be a serious conversation. So once we get it, just as they should keep on the good work. Everybody should work, because these are men at the forefront. They are our brothers and sisters. So we can't continue to lose our men like that. Once we get those behind the source, or those funding them, will automatically win the war to a very large extent.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Kesandu, for calling in. Dennis, as Kesandu was saying now, it's been an age-old problem to unmask or reveal or expose those that are pouring money into these terrorist organizations that are bedeviling all of our best efforts. And it's not been easy. This level of secrecy, how is it that we can't identify who the sponsors are and go for them? Maybe it's a simplistic approach, but that's what most of the public is. It's quite simplistic. How can you say you don't know? You see vehicles, you can trace them back to where were they bought, what are the numbers, the VIN, if that is relevant. I mean, you can always trace all of these things. These are rudimentary levels. So we sometimes are confused as ordinary members of the public when it is said that we don't know. Look at all those motorcycles now. They started off somewhere, you know. How is it, Dennis? How does it go? Why is there this difficulty?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the last caller, because that is what we are saying, you know. And with what has happened now, for them to, you know, gather these people, we've had complicity in government. Remember when President Jonathan said that there are people, Boko Haram sympathizers in his government?
Yes,
yes. Yes, but he was not strong enough to pick them out and deal with them, you know. And I just pray that the NSA, you know, with what is happening now and what they are digging out, should pluck out all those people that either in government, who are still in government, all those people, known people in society, businessmen who have been, you know, financing all these terrorist groups, you know, plug them out, because I think that's where I'm worried about the mixture of politics and security. You know, when you mix that two, it becomes a very, very murky and very sticky situation. You know, forget about politics, you know, because it's the country. It's an existential problem that is facing the country. And why should we accommodate those people that have been supporting these people to run the country down? You know, so I am very, very sure that the new security team led by the National Security Advisor, especially the Chief of Defense Staff and the DGSSS, I think they have to go after this thing. And then, of course, besides the arresting the bandits or the terrorists, they should also go for all the financiers. And then, of course, let the country know who has been giving us the troubled stomach.
Exactly. Nigerians want to know. George in Ikeja, good morning to you, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. George. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning to Mr. Makri.
Indeed. Good morning.
Mr. Makri is still in the U.S. I don't know why he has abandoned us.
But did I tell you so, or you yourself?
Perhaps he's afraid of the pains of reform. That's by the way. Uncle Yori, I must also give kudos to the security agencies and the National Security Advisor for a job well done. It's a feat, and we're all proud of them. What worries me, however, is the justice system. How these criminals will be served justice. There will be these are not people that you can mix with other inmates in prison. I'm of the view that while their trial is going on, they should be in DSS custody. They shouldn't be sent to a prison or, correctional centers. These ones can cause more havoc while at the correctional centers. So the justice system should be quick, and all those that are associated with them, the government should be bold enough to deal with them, fish them out and deal with them appropriately.
Okay.
That's how I can summarize it. I know we have a president who is good in taking bold decisions.
All right.
This is the time to show it. We are talking about security of our country. Anybody that is involved in it, no matter how highly placed he is, should be dealt with. That's my view.
All right. Dennis, when we come back from the break, you'll comment on that. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every weekday on Business Nigeria, we uncover the secrets of the financial world.
We analyze the stock market, shares, bonds, and the thrilling world of cryptocurrency.
Facts matter. Our team dives deep to separate fact from popular opinion.
We simplify complex government policies as it impacts your everyday life, helping you navigate the ever-changing financial landscape.
Watch Business Nigeria every weekday at 2 p.m. only on TVC News. First with breaking news.
And that's it on TVC News. We're back at the top of the hour with more updates. Breaking news. 2 words that define our world. Unpredictable but inevitable. It's the rush of adrenaline, the spark that ignites our curiosity. But you see, breaking news is more than just a headline or an attention grabber. It's a responsibility to tell the truth, to seek out the facts, and to share the stories that need to be told.
As a news anchor, I've witnessed history unfold before my eyes.
From moments of triumph to times of tragedy, beyond the screaming headlines, there are real people, real communities and families affected by the news. And that's why breaking news isn't just about being first, but being accurate, balanced, and reliable. It's given our audience the information they need to make informed choices and decisions. At TVC News, that's what we stand for, going beyond the surface, telling the stories that matter, first with breaking news.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call permanent solutions.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Meet Benga Oreshegun, a fearless voice and an advocate for the truth. He's bringing fresh energy and bold insights to journalists' Hangout.
Get ready for deeper analysis and dynamic perspectives. Join me and Babajide Kolade Otitoju with other veteran journalists on Journalists Hangout. Weekdays from 5 p.m. and on Sundays 1:30 p.m.
Okay, welcome back. We're still with our guest, Dennis Amakre, security consultant from Assistant Director, Department of State Security. And we also will be joined by Sonny Shinkafi. He's an, APC chieftain, and he's also contested elections before. And he is actually lucky to have escaped what has been described as an assassination attempt in recent times. Alhaji Shinkafi, good morning to you, and do I say congratulations on your fortunate escape from the hands of those that are being seen as terrorists?
Yeah, we thank God for sparing my life. Last Friday, after the Jumat mosque, I was attacked by unknown gunmen. They covered their Friday Jibu plate number and covered their face with black marks and put a mark with heavy guns and blocked us on the road as we are coming back from the box and came out with heavy guns. But God so kind to us, there is a vehicle and a motorcycle in between us. Then we maneuver our way and escaped with my police escort and my driver and my little children. So it is a very unfortunate situation, but trying to make some discreet investigation and get some intelligence, make some intelligence gathering, we are able to find out that it is the act of bomb of our political opponent, who is also minister in the present administration.
Okay.
We want everything humanly possible to eliminate me because I have been advocating for peace and also always calling for the federal government and the state government not to negotiate with bandits or terrorists. And they also have been advocating that the government should do everything humanly possible to outline the way to handle the non-kinetic engagement. So I also have been advocating that the government should go into kinetic effort, total military force against these armed bandit terrorists. But whatever we're saying, some of them who are part of the government who are on the corridor of are not happy with our engagement. Most especially when one Islamic cleric called Asad al-Sunnah, Sheikh Yusuf Asad al-Sunnah, who went to the enclaves and say they visited to the enclaves 3 times in July to go and make peace with him. And also he has collected some captives and to surrender some arms and ammunition, which I totally disagree with him, because the Zamfara state government stand still that they are not going to negotiate or go into peace dialogue with armed bandits. But this Islamic cleric, under the directives of the Office of National Security Advisor and the Chairman Committee on Intelligence and Security, went to Tulji hideout 3 times. And when he claimed that he collected the arms and ammunition and the captives, traditionally when these arms and ammunition are collected, has to be taken to the Commissioner of Police, and the Commissioner of Police will take the inventory of the record of the arms and the captives, when the captives are being released, or when ransom are paid by the relation of the victims, they took them to the state government. Then the state government will take them to hospital. After all the medical treatment, they will now be reunited with their family. All these procedures or traditions have not been taken care of. So when I make such a briefing in Rise TV and other television stations, then I now become an enemy. Some who are of power. But based on the intelligence we have, a minister in this government has been using the security attached to him, terrorizing people, arresting them illegally, even threatening their life. So to settle political scores. I remain a member of APC. I remain a chief of APC. I I've been the presidential campaign counselor of Mr. President, and I have been the deputy chairman to the immediate first governor in the election bid. So I don't know why people who want to use their office to settle political scores.
That's a very Alaji Shinkafi, that's a tough one, because if I heard you right, you actually are fingering, high-ranking officials in the present administration, of having, that's a problem.
Yeah, I have an intelligence report, and also they have sent a spy into my house. A lady came into my house. She called my wife's number that she wants to buy a children's wares. So when she came, they found it difficult to enter the house because the house is secured and I have a security man attached to me.
Yes.
But on my way going to the mosque, I saw the vehicle. I watched the vehicle cover their flight number. They were trailing us. All the time we came back. So after this discussion, I'm going to send you the CCTV footage and the pictures of the vehicle, and even the conversation we have with the spy, the one they sent for the dirty job or for the mission. But the mission have, by the grace of God, failed.
Well, okay, I hear you for the moment. Thank you. But you see, politically, I don't know. It's on record that you contested the governorship of Zamfara on the ticket of the All Progressive Grand Alliance in 2007, 2011, 2015, and even 2019. You joined the APC, in 2021. Is there no? Can you be very sure as to where any kind of action such as that is under review at the moment might be coming from? Could be coming from a multiplicity of sources. What gives you the inkling that, no, I see the road clear, I know what is going on, it is intelligence-led? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because last year, December 2024, Turiji made a video clip saying that the notorious armed kingpin, Bello Turji, made a video clip that he's going to turn my own hometown, Shinkafi, and our neighboring local government, Zuni local government, and also some neighboring local government in Sokoto State, East Sabonbuni and Boreo, to ghost town if his in-law is not released by the military who arrested him. And I addressed press conference in my house, December, that I appeal to Mr. President to do everything humanly possible to save the life of our people in our community, and also to apply total kinetic effort military forces against Bello Turji. And I also reaffirm that the higher command of Nigerian military have still said Bello Turji is on the wanted list, and they will not negotiate with the Bello Turji. And the Minister of Defense, Badr Abubakar, went visited a theater in the military theater in Zamfara, and he declared that the military men should go after Bello Turji, dead or alive. So after I made such a press conference, when I went to a Friday prayer in the Rabi Al Central Mosque, a group of political thugs, heavily armed, attacked me inside the premises of the Friday Mosque. And they have been calling names that why should I be calling some political stakeholders that they should talk to Mr. President? Why should I be calling them that they fail to help the people in the fight against banditry? So with available information, intel I have, legally I have enough evidence to prove the sponsors of this attack or those who are behind it. And very soon I have already lodged my complaint to the Inspector General of Police and the Department of State Security Service.
Okay.
And I'm going to write another petition to chief of defense staff to punish the military, those who have been suspected they are military personnel attached to a minister. So this is the I have available evidence to prove my case beyond reasonable doubt in the court of law. I'm not trying to blackmail or make a mistake making. I know where it is coming from. It's politically affected, and some people want to get me out of the way. They are not because they are not happy with the way I have been talking, especially in your television station. I have been talking about insecurity in the northern Nigeria, insecurity in Nigeria, mostly also in my state where it is the epicenter of banditry for the past 1.5 decades. So these are the challenges.
Zamfara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Epicenter of banditry. If Zamfara is safe, Niger State will be safe. Kaduna State will be safe. Sokoto State will be safe. Kebbi State will be safe. Katsina State will be safe.
Okay.
And Kebbi State.
But first of all, we thank God that here you are speaking about it, and the matter is still being processed. But the fact that the DSS is getting kudos, surely you don't have anything against that. That DSS as an organization is getting kudos for the laudable work that they've been doing.
Yeah, the work of the DSS is highly commendable because the way and the manner they arrested the suspected terrorists, that's the commander of Mahmouda and Ansaru, the commander and deputy commander in Borgu in Wawa village, without firing one shot of bullet, one bullet. Intelligence.
Yes.
So it is highly commendable, and they have displayed a higher sense of proportionality in this act. And I commend them, and also I commend this administration for giving them enough time to work against these terrorists. Because these terrorists, Ansaru and Mahmouda, are splinter group of ISWAP and Boko Haram. And they are mostly operating in the North Central, in Kwara State, in Kogi State, and in Niger State. So this is a very highly commendable, and the government should do everything humanly possible to continue to apply this methodology against terrorism in Nigeria.
Okay, you had a lot of catching up to do, is why we have given you this much time. Mr. Dennis Amakre is still very much with us. Thank you very much, Dennis. I'm sure you understand. Alhaji Shinkafi, he had a bit of catching up to do. Dennis, you can hear me, I hope.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I had said that when we would have come back from the break, you would comment on, do you still recall what the issue was? Because
we've listened to so many things. They thought our trend of thought is out. But let's keep on discussing. It will come back.
Indeed. Well, I think, he's just been telling us, Sonny Shinkafi has just been telling us that, the Mahmouda and Abu Bara that have been arrested is no small fry, and he's commended them. I think I'm desperately trying to remember the question that was the issue that was brought up that I wanted you to comment on. This is my fault. Maybe I should have made a note of it. And the producer that should be telling me what the matter was, because he was listening, is busy telling me something else in my ear, not what I want to hear. But here we are. I think even Shinkafi himself says kudos to our people. And we hope, I think it was Mr. George who had called in at that time. Yes, if I remember properly. It was a George who called in from Ikeja. But I guess I'm going to have to let it go now. The producer is not helping me at all. He's not telling me what the matter was. Even if I forget, he's not supposed to forget. I don't know why not. But what we've learned today is that DSS has its way, if you want, its renewed way of going about things, such as so that we have the results that we are having now. I don't know. This is maybe this is where we're going to have to leave it for now. But unless you wanted to comment, Dennis, on what you've just heard Sonny Shinkafi say an APC chieftain now, long-time All Progressive Grand Alliance stalwart, that it's political. And I was a bit worried when he actually fingered some people in the current administration, and he says he is speaking advisedly, and that when the time is right, he knows how to present his case. You had reason to refer to when then President Jonathan had said that there might be Boko Haram in this administration. Are those days, we would have liked to think that those days are over. On a final note there, Dennis, because we don't have the time anymore.
Okay, thank you very much, Jerry. You see, what the gentleman have said is very, very sad.
Mm-hmm.
What he said is very, very sad because he's a politician, and of course, a lot of things that he said, are in the purview of the security agencies. And you see, I, with all due respect, I will say that it is the politicians who are trying to cause this problem all over the place, because either they are aligned to these some of these terrorists, and they are fighting against those who are against them, and then of course causing problem for national security, allowing the security people to be running around all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with the new gusto that they have,
yes.
And I think the Alhaji Shinkafi should at least, I hope he has talked to the security agencies. If he has not, I would want him to go to Abuja, go and see the DGSSS, sit down with him and tell him a lot of things, because listening to him, I think he has a lot of information,
Okay.
So that
we're going to have to leave it there, Dennis. I thank you very much on that, that key advice. Alhaji Sani Shinkafi, APC chieftain. Thank you. One time Zamfara governorship candidate. I want to thank you very much for coming on the program. You came late, but we tried to make up for it. And once again, thank God that you are safe. That's Sani Shinkafi. And also to you, Dennis, as always, thank you very much, Security Consultant, former Assistant Director, Department of State Security. Thank you both gentlemen for coming on the program. All right then. So we're going to have to leave it there. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.
I'm Nifemi Oguntoye, news anchor with TVC News. My day is usually busy and it's difficult keeping up with breaking news stories, trending stories, business news, stock exchange and what have you. But with TVC News on WhatsApp, I'm able to catch up with all the breaking news, real-time updates and trending stories on the go, right on my phone, no matter where I am. It's quick, easy and always on. And here you can join us by scanning the QR code or using the link on our X and Instagram. Why wait? Come to the side of news that keeps you ahead. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Power, politics, and accountability on fireworks. No seat is too high, no question too hard. If they hold an office, they are on the hot seat. If they have power, they answer to the people and answer the hard questions.
Only strong men lead, not weak men who don't have knowledge, who don't have capacity, who don't have access.
This is not just talk. This is fireworks.
Corruption in what? You cannot send your animal to where they train police officers.
No filter, no favoritism, no fear. No holds barred. Unbiased, unafraid, unfiltered.
Why should people elected into office and are being funded by the treasury of the state, and then their salary and allowances will be treated in secrecy?
Fireworks, only on TVC News.
TVC News, first with breaking news. The Inspector General of Police has met with senior officers to review the state of security.
We are continuing our coverage of the arrest of Godwin Emefiele.
The Senate has summoned the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to properly brief the Senate regarding the state of the economy.
What I will never take is threat.
Let's now bring you more development from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where an explosion has taken place. Tell us about this incident.
TVC News, first with breaking news.